It took him 42 days to recognize Joe Biden's victory in November's election. But on his inauguration, Brazil's right-wing president Jair Bolsonaro sent Biden an olive branch, a tweet and a 3-page letter mentioning Brazil's interest in working with the United States on sustainable development and environment protection, especially in the Amazon. The tone was conciliatory compared to Bolsonaro's outburst during the campaign when Biden threatened Brazil with economic sanctions if it did nothing to stop farmers and land grabbers from destroying the rainforest.
How can we confront this? Diplomacy is not enough. When we're done yelling, we need gunpowder. We don't have to use it, but they must know that we have it.
Bolsonaro had openly campaigned for Donald Trump's re-election.
I can't hide my feelings. They come from the heart.
Until now, Brazil's president had followed Trump's lead, downplaying COVID-19, criticizing global organizations, and attacking China.
Now, with Trump gone, a lot of the madness and the radicalism that has shaped the way that Bolsonaro acts on a daily basis will become much more visible. And I think he will have to pay a greater price, particularly if the United States and Europe will work together and pressure Bolsonaro on issues like human rights or the environment. So it's very bad news. I would say that Bolsonaro is probably the most negatively affected head of state by Trump's defeat. And I think it will force him to adopt a much more moderate stance, which for him is not easy.
The subject was raised in Washington on Inauguration Day at White Press Secretary Jen Psaki's first media briefing.
So climate change being one of the priorities, how does President Biden plan to work with Brazil?
What I can convey on climate change, of course, and addressing the climate crisis, it's one of the 4 crises that he's identified will impact his administration, is impacting not just the American people, but the global community, is that rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement is a vital step toward doing that. But I'm sure we'll have more to discuss on Brazil in the coming months.
Bolsonaro is also having to adopt a conciliatory tone with China, with Beijing being Brazil's sole provider of COVID-19 vaccines so far, keeping the country's best interests in mind without hurting his support at home may prove to be a challenge. China is Brazil's main trading partner, but Bolsonaro's right-wing voters want to hear him criticize the Chinese Communist Party. To keep all content, he'll have to walk a fine line. Monica Yanakiew, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.